Oh, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Meet Your Neighbours Unplugged, and I am really thrilled. We have gone to North America, we have gone to the UK, and I'm really thrilled today. We are back in Oz, and I'd like to introduce you to Jassassin Entertainment. I beg your pardon. How are you doing today, Jazz?
Doing well, G4. How are you?
I'm good, mate, and I'm so thrilled you're on the show today, mate, because I know that you've just made some significant upgrades to your channel, and we will get into talking about that in a wee while.
That sounds good.
So, for everybody out there in internet land that can't pick up what that accent is, can you tell us where you're located in the globe or the world at the moment, Jazz?
Yep, I'm in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in Queensland,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in a little area called Brisbane.
Nice. I've been to Brizzy a lot of times, mate.
Yeah, it's quite nice in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm. Did you grow up there, or are you from somewhere else?
I grew up on the Redcliffe Peninsula,
Mm-hmm.
which is back then when I was a lot younger. It was only small,
Mm-hmm.
non-commercialized. There wasn't a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
But these days they've got high rises and they're sort of really plugging it for a tourist attraction area.
Yeah, I know.
But back when I grew up, it was just very quiet. And it was a great little peninsula. It's fully surrounded by water.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only get to it really via bridge.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And also from the Sunshine Coast Highway.
Yep, the Sunshine.
So a bit tricky to get to the peninsula, but it's nice.
Sunshine Coast's very, very popular now. And of course, for those of you, and I know we've got a few fans of Australia Zoo in the community, that's where Australia Zoo is, up on the Sunshine Coast. So it's all in that kind of general area.
It is, yes. So I pass the Australia Zoo probably about once a week in the car.
Nice.
No, it's not too far away from where I live, actually.
Nice. Now, I remember I've been back and forward over the years to Brizzy, and I remember when my friends for Brizzy used to say to me, say you live in Sydney, all that traffic. And then about maybe 5 or 6 years later, they were all complaining how much traffic there was in Brisbane. But to give people an idea, Brizzy's about maybe a million and a half population at the moment. Would that be about right?
Oh, easy, yes. Yes, it's definitely got a lot of people here in Brisbane now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of tourists are here now as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is a very busy place.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a little too busy for my likings. I like a laid back, just somewhere where it's nice and casual and laid back.
Yep.
And sometimes Brisbane's very fast paced.
Yeah, I gotta say, being a Sydney sider, it's nice and it's quite a pleasant change of pace when I come up. So it's interesting that you'd say from your kind of perspective, it's fast paced compared to what you're used to. So I guess it's all about perspective in life, isn't it?
It is definitely, yes.
So, mate, you've just spent a bit of time upgrading a whole lot of stuff for your channel. I'd like to kind of investigate that a little bit further, and so what's your kind of vision for where you want to take your channel at the moment?
Okay, well, I've decided to sort of go into YouTube full time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired, but that's not by choice. That's by quite a significant injury.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to hear that.
So I thought, well, I'll give YouTube a bit of a go. So the last 12 months I've had a lot of fun on YouTube. Some great people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just sort of been doing the work on just a standard Xbox and just uploading just with very basic primitive tooling, you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of really enjoyed what I was doing. So Xbox One X and a nice 4K TV to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then not too long after that, I bought a PC,
Mm-hmm.
and I had it custom built to exactly what I wanted it to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the new PC ready to go. I've got the Xbox One X ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just eager to get in and really start to grow my channel.
Fantastic. So hopefully we can help you with that. What was it that kind of attracted you to doing YouTube in the first place, though, Jazz?
I guess it was like a creative outlet for me.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of went through some real tough times with an injury, like I said before.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I was sort of bedridden for about a year and a half where I couldn't walk at all.
Wow. Okay.
And so the wife walked home from work one day and she walked in the door with the Xbox. So I plugged the Xbox in and I've never looked back since.
I wish we could all have wives like that. Although I must admit, my wife bought me the Xbox that I use now, so I can't complain too much.
You've done well too. You've done very.
And so I guess so you've got your Xbox now. I guess it opens up. I mean, were you a gamer before that, or was this a new kind of experience?
No, I guess I started gaming on a serious level probably about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, I wasn't a gamer at all. When I grew up in Redcliffe, it was back when we had the Commodore 64s and the
Oh yeah.
Sega Master Systems,
Yep.
and there was none of this fandangle gaming that we have today.
Yep.
So I didn't get into gaming until, after I had a serious injury and I was laid up. And the wife thought, well, look, hubby's got to do something. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll get him an Xbox and he can jump on and have a play. And I sort of fell in love with it then. I really enjoyed it.
I'm interested. I'm really interested in, and I hope you don't mind, but I'm really interested to hear what kind of difference that made to you. In as much as finally you get you have a gaming system. Did that really help kind of with your health and your motivation and stuff? How did it change? How was it? Did it have a positive effect on you?
It did have a very good positive effect to it, to be honest. When you're injured, you're always sort of laying around feeling sorry for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Wishing that you never did what you did to cause the accident, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was able to really relax and get into some games that I enjoyed. I think the first game I played was Borderlands,
Nice.
and that was a lot of fun.
Which Borderlands, the first one or the second one?
It was the first Borderlands that
Mm-hmm.
I played,
Nice.
and I've got to admit, my son at the time, he was 7 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually taught me how to play.
What nice.
I didn't have much experience with gaming whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
My son loved playing we bought him an Xbox 360,
Mm-hmm.
and he sort of really enjoyed playing it. And he's like, "Dad, come in and I'll teach you how to play." I
Fun.
must say that my son actually introduced me to gaming.
Nice.
My first playthrough ever was a game of co-op with my son.
Mate, that is great. It's a fantastic story because it's. I know there's a few of us in the community that have kids that are gamers, and I'm lucky. My youngest son is a gamer. Um, he's on the dark side though, unfortunately.
Okay.
He's on the other system, but no, I know a few guys that have that get time to play with their kids, and I think it's a nice bonding kind of thing
Is
to do.
I really really enjoyed playing the game with my son. It was a great bonding thing to do for us,
Hmm.
and we got to know each other not only as father and son, but also as good friends,
Fantastic.
and that's probably the basis behind the great relationship I have with my son today.
Hmm. Nice.
So, we were just like friends, I'd always put my foot down when he did the wrong thing and things like that, but
Hmm.
as far as a father and son relationship, we were just very good friends,
Hmm.
and today we have got the best relationship ever,
Good.
and he's a really good kid. So, no, I'm very proud of my son. Very proud of him.
Excellent. So, mate, I guess then, I've only known you a fairly short time, and I associate you with Fallout 4 builds. How did you arrive at Fallout? Where did that kind of transition come from, Borderlands to Fallout?
Yeah, well, after we finished playing Borderlands, I decided that I really enjoyed gaming.
Mhm.
So I ended up buying Fallout 4,
Mhm.
and I upgraded my system from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One.
Mhm.
And Fallout was the first game that I played on Xbox One.
Nice.
So I would have been about halfway through my first gameplay.
Mhm.
Mods. And I must say that I never got to finish the game without mods. I got into mods straight away,
Yep.
and I just had so much fun with it. And of course, that's when I discovered building.
Mhm.
And me being a cabinet maker and a CAD kitchen designer, I just found it to be right up my alley, you know. And like I was saying before, G4, you know, I was able to bring out the creative side, and it really did well, you know. It sort of helped me with a lot of things. So,
Mhm.
you know, Fallout will always have a special little place in my heart, I guess, because it did get me through some very tough times.
It's interesting because I've talked to, and I'm sure you've listened to a few of the interviews that we've done in the
I
last
have.
few weeks, and it's interesting to hear what different people get at Fallout for, specifically the building. And it's funny. I think we all sort of get the same thing, but slightly in a slightly different way, and it is very therapeutic. I think building.
It is. It is. I love it. It's quite easily, you know, 5, 6 hours will pass, and it just seems like 20 minutes, you know.
Absolutely, I think we've all been there.
Definitely. But no, I love building, and I've got some really good builds coming up too. The Xbox One X, it really does outperform a standard Xbox by far.
Mhm.
So I've been able to do some really big builds, but I haven't done them yet as a video.
Yep.
But they're certainly sitting in the stash pile ready to turn into a video. So I've done plenty of builds,
Yep.
and there's plenty more builds to come. And now that I've got PC
Yep.
and the Xbox One X, I can really sort of do the builds that I've been wanting to do.
Mhm. So
Forwards to it.
the name Jassassin Entertainment, where did that come from?
It's actually very, very close to my real name, being Jas.
Mhm.
You know, that's very close to my real name. So it was actually a nickname that my son made for me while we were playing Borderlands.
Mhm.
He'd always be, "Hey, Dad, quick, can you shoot this fella for me?" And I'd be like, "Yes, son, no worries." And I was just a crack shot, I guess.
Mhm.
And because I was a crack shot, my son just turned around one day and said, "Hey Dad, we should put your first name and assassin together."
Mhm.
And I thought, well, Jassassin, good. So that was actually my nickname for a little while before I started YouTube.
Mhm.
So I started YouTube, I just kept the same name because I really liked it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so at the end of the day though, my first name is Jason.
Mhm.
Was assassin at the end of that, and that's how you get Jassassin.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes total sense. So I've got to
Yeah,
ask.
so
I've got to ask you for the viewers at home, and for me personally, are you going to do? Are you going to play Borderlands 3?
what's that, sorry?
Are you going to play Borderlands 3?
I would love to, yes. Well, when I get a chance to, I will. But I tend to do just a lot of building.
Mhm.
I've got Fallout 76, so I don't mind playing that. That's a
Mhm.
good game. But I'm really enjoying building at the moment. You know, it's helping me allow. It's helping me out a lot of different ways. So you know,
Fantastic.
at the moment, I'm really enjoying building.
What?
And I guess because I missed out on the whole gaming scene when I was younger,
Mhm.
I guess I'm sort of making up for it now.
Mhm.
You know, so it's like I'm reliving my younger years again. You
Nothing.
know, and I really enjoy it.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. So I do like your builds, mate. I do enjoy watching your builds, and I can see you're very, very detail orientated, and your builds have a lot going on in them. But they all sort of kind of blend very nicely. Where does that inspiration or that creativity come from?
Um, I guess I don't really plan a lot of my builds. I just start, building to a theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I'll get on a builder's roll and I'll just keep building and building, and before long I've got this huge megastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, well, I better decorate it.
Mm-hmm.
And at first my decoration work started off quite simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started to have a look around the house, and I'd see that, you'd get home from work and you'd put your hat up and you'd put your keys down,
Mm-hmm.
and any change from your pocket you'd put in a certain area. So I guess when I do my decorating, that's what I sort of look for. I look for reality,
Mm-hmm.
and if someone was really living there, where would they put their hat? Their loose change,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's, yeah, the decorating I've taken on a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part of it that I really enjoy. I enjoy the construction side of it, but I also love to bring my builds alive with great decoration as well.
I think it makes a huge difference to the overall finished build, though, the decoration. And I speak about it a lot in my channel, that um, the building's only part of the story, and then there's this kind of middle ground of stuff that's sort of decoration, sort of building, and then it's pure building. So yeah, trying to balance all three out is kind of where you get it to look as though it should be there, and that's what I try and I don't know if you try and do that with your builds, or whether you want to just go complete fantasy, but I try.
No, I try and make it as close to reality as possible. I do like watching. I do like building with the old clutter style.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the YouTubers it used to inspire me a lot was the real Eliana.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at the way she would decorate, and I would think to myself, that looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I'd love to be able to decorate like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just over the years with practice, and I believe I'm sort of decorating, up there with it. So, that's been the best part for me, is learning how to decorate and bring the build alive.
Mm-hmm.
So important.
I think it is, and I think it also helps you. It helps you, you see that you can see the progress, especially if you look at some of your. And that's what fixing up the Commonwealth was about for me. Was going back and looking at some of my earlier builds, and then looking at what I'm doing now and trying to see how you could update that or improve on it. But you do progress as a builder. And sometimes you're not always aware of it until you kind of go back and look retrospectively at what you've done previously. So.
Be correct. Like this morning, because I'm on PC now, I can get really good video quality.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking over a few of my earlier builds this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had a look at some of my later builds, and I could just see how far that I've really come with it.
Mm-hmm.
The first build that I ever did was a full ground up rebuild at Agret Tours Marina.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I scrapped the entire everything that was there and just rebuilt it up from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun, and I put some big buildings in, and I wasn't so heavy with the decorations back then. It was more about the construction. But as time progressed, the decorating became more and more important, and is how you bring your build alive. And I've got so many great comments from the great community out there. Jass, you can really decorate, you know how to bring a build alive. And I guess when you get those sort of comments, it motivates you to want to try even more.
Absolutely. And I think the great thing that I love about Fallout 4 is there is no limit to what you can actually achieve.
Sky is the limit on Fallout 4. There's nothing that you cannot build.
No.
I see a lot of people, they have a lot of trouble choosing what to build, or they run out of ideas on what to build.
Yep.
But I've got far too many ideas. There's not enough time. There's not enough time in the day for me to build what I want to build. So
I know that feeling.
plenty of builds coming up and plenty of great ideas. And now I've got better tech.
Yep.
You know, I can deliver that to, you know, the community and to the subscribers that enjoy my work.
Fantastic.
You know,
My,
which I must say a massive big thank you to everybody that has subscribed to my channel.
Yeah.
And everybody that has supported me. I really appreciate it. It's been fantastic. And you guys have helped me through a very tough time. So it's really a big thank you to everybody out there that has given me the support that I have gotten in Fallout 4.
No problem, mate. And we're glad you're part of our community as well, mate. It's
I enjoy it. I really do.
no worries. Well, we have to get you more involved now.
Very true. Very true. Well, as I said, I've decided to go into it sort of full time now.
Yep.
So sky is the limit.
Nice.
So yeah, keep an eye on the channel and there'll be some pretty cool stuff happening.
No problem. So I've got one last question for you, mate. If I was able to give you a first class ticket to anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's a good one. I would probably go to Okinawa in Japan.
Nice. And why would you go to Japan specifically?
Well, when I was younger, I think everybody went through the stage where they watched those, you know, the Karate Kid videos.
Yes.
And I'd watch the video and I'd think to myself, that looks like a really peaceful, tranquil little town there.
Mm-hmm.
And just other movies that I've watched that have had other, you know, scenes from Japan and Okinawa, and it's just so laid back, and I would love to just go and have a look around the place.
I think you wouldn't be disappointed, mate. I think Japan is a beautiful country, and it's with some really beautiful people in it.
It is. So that'd be one of the first destinations I'd choose. And the second destination would have to be Holland, because that's where my wife comes from.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so my wife is Dutch.
Very.
So I would love to go to Holland to find out a little bit, you know, where she went to school and how she grew up in Holland. So I'd love to go for a holiday. The wife and I are saving to go to Holland.
Good.
But it'll be a little while away yet.
It's quite different cultures, and I think I was in Holland when I was very young. Can't remember too much about it, but I know I had a great time over there, and I know how it looked. I can sort of remember some of it. I was in my young and wild days, but
it's a beautiful place.
It is really very much so. It very much is. So I've got a supplementary question for you, mate. Sorry, I did say last question, but yeah. First concert you ever went to?
The first concert was In Excess, and I think that was back in 1989, I think.
Wow.
That's testing the memory now. Yeah. But that was the first concert was In Excess when Michael Hutchings was alive.
Yep, when he was still the lead singer. Yeah. Nice. Okay, Jazz, that's it. The interrogation is over. Thank you so much for being so open and honest with me today, mate. And I really do appreciate you sharing your story with us.
That is not a problem. I've really enjoyed it, G4. It's been great.
No problem. Guys, make sure that you check out Jazz's channel. I will leave links down below in the description. Show him some gaming for XP love. If you love Fallout 4 building, Jazz does some spectacular builds. And please, if you feel that you like what he does, make sure that you subscribe as well. So thank you for joining us on Meet Your Neighbours Unplugged, and we will catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya.
No problem. My pleasure.